What's up, world? This is We Need a Fish. This your man Mo. He on the line.
Yo, what up?
Man Hill in the building.
Yo,
Um, quick hitters. Um, anybody care about the Phillies versus the Cheaters? I mean, the Astros World
No.
Series.
well, the fact that the Yankees got swept,
Yeah,
you
nobody
know,
cares about Bryce Harper trying to chase down his first World Series championship.
good luck, Bryce. Mo, you rep Philly, and he did it in dramatic fashion. So that part, just being a fan of sports,
Yeah,
that was great to see.
yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing Bryce Harper get his first one, man. I especially since he's playing the Stros or the Cheaters as I like to call them. NFL
Mhm.
Hill, we got any news worth hearing, man? Talk to me.
Russell Wilson seems like he's never played football, ever in his life. He's terrible. Tom Brady's
Now,
continuing to throw scud missiles at the ground.
is it Russell Wilson is terrible or the coach doesn't know how to use him?
No, Russell Wilson's terrible. He's terrible.
Oh, okay. Enough said.
He's just bad. Yeah. Nothing to do with the coach. He just stinks. And probably will have the worst contract in NFL history.
Oh. Were you happy with your 49ers? I heard they made some moves.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, Christian McCaffrey, I mean, I don't know how long he's going to be able to stay in the field, but to get a chance to get it back like that, you have to go for it. But it's always going to be with Garoppolo. I mean, is it going to matter? Like I said, you add Barry Sanders to that backfield. You stack the box and make that guy throw it, you're going to lose all the time. All the time. I'm tired of the good gaming wins, 10-6 this year, maybe 11-7, 26 for 37 for 149 yards and a win. Break 300, throw it down the field, take chances.
And your boy Trey is out for the season, right?
Yeah, he's gone.
Or is there any possibility that he can come back for the playoffs or anything like that?
No, they're gonna shove him. I wish. I'd take him right now, broken ACL and all. Cart him out there.
All right.
I hate Garoppolo. I mean, hate is a strong word. I despise him as a quarterback greatly.
Wow. Tell him how you really feel, huh?
Yeah, no, it's going to be the 49ers downfall until they get him out of there.
All right. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of the show. Why people are really here. Let's talk about some basketball, gentlemen. We got the first 8 days of the season started. We 8 days in. Now, I know you guys got to catch some of the games and stuff like that. Were there any teams that disappointed you or that kind of surprised you in a negative fashion, I guess, in what they showed you in the first 8 days of the season, of this young season? I know personally, I'm really, really disappointed and surprised at how dreadful the Los Angeles Lakers have become. I think coupled with the issues that they have with Westbrook right now, because I think at this point, Westbrook has shown that he's stuck in his ways. He's going to play his way, and he's not willing to conform to what's best for the team. Outside of that, forget Russell. The rest of this team sucks, Hill. I'm saying, Hill, I'm to the point from what I've seen the first 8 days of LA Laker basketball, I would be surprised if they win a game come Christmas. That's where I'm at with it. I'm surprised that they had close games during the first 8 games of the season. This roster, the way it's constructed, honestly, I'm feeling they shouldn't win a game against a professional NBA basketball team. Because this is not a professional NBA basketball roster that's meant to win. Really, they're acting like they're in the Wimbignana sweepstakes already. And you got Anthony Davis and LeBron James there. As a fan, I'm heartbroken. As a observer of basketball, they're almost disgusted with this, what I'm seeing on the court with LA. Am I wrong?
Well, I guess you thought the addition of AD would, I guess, bring them over that at least that 40-win plateau this year. It would garner
Hell,
up at least a
I'm
good maybe
struggling to
7 to 8
see.
more games plus.
I'm struggling to see 10 games right now them winning.
Oh no, I mean like addition from last year. I mean, I would think a healthy AD would be a plus or minus what 7 to 10 games with AD playing and get them around 43 and 39. I mean, as much as you can bang on Westbrook, I do, and he's another story. And I think it's just beating the drum and it's too easy if I do so. I want to put a lot of emphasis and pressure on Anthony Davis. I don't know if he gets enough knock.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He's actually, field goal percentage wise, is shooting almost as bad as Russell Westbrook. You know what I mean? So we'll check that, his 3-point percentage. I don't know what has possessed this man to stay 12 to 15 feet from the basket. Is it a fear of just going down low? You're taller than when you're more skilled. A simple turnaround and jump over the smaller person, just elementary basketball in which he can dominate and put up serious numbers. I don't know why is he shading away from it. He's become a 3-point shooter and he's not good at it. He's become a jump shot shooter. He's not great at it. I need to know what is going on with the person who's supposed to be the heir apparent to LeBron James. You know what I mean? And the King is not absent of flaws either, who's averaging 9 to 10 threes per game. I mean, this is a team that has turned into the old Golden State Warriors behind the arc, and none of them could shoot three. I mean, the whole team can't shoot, and they're fascinated with shooting threes. I don't know if that's a Darvin Ham issue, a personnel issue with Pelinka, or it's just the perfect storm altogether of just a failure.
I think the answer is D, all of the above. Like, hey, personnel, roster. That roster is, like I said, is terribly constructed for what they're trying to do on the court.
Mhm.
And I think coaching also, like with Darvin Ham, I think we saw some troubling signs when he went back on the decision to bench Russell Westbrook and bring him off the bench. I think a stronger coach or a coach more confident in his position with the organization would have said, hey, listen, this is the best for the team and you need to sit. And if you feel like your hamstring is hurting all of a sudden because you're sitting, guess what? We can put you on injury reserve and keep it moving. But that differentiates the teams that are on that true path of greatness, like, hey, the Golden States, your San Antonio's, what the Lakers used to be with Kobe and Shaq and Kobe and Powell, where, hey, you have a certain standard and it's either everybody's meeting that standard and willing to conform to that standard, or they can hit the bench or hit the door. And I think so I think coaching has failed this Lakers team this year. I think Darvin Ham's inexperience in these type of situations is shown.
P, like, say for instance with the Lakers, is this a case of I can't pull a trigger on Westbrook or AD This is Darvin Ham's perspective. Could it be some a little of that? I can't definitely pull a trigger on Westbrook. Definitely not AD and LeBron because I was an ex-player who was not of their talent level. Is it one of those situations?
Yeah, I mean, you always could blame coaching a little, but this team is just poorly constructed. Now, as far as Westbrook going to the bench, like Mo was talking about, I think it's almost like a respect factor. This guy averaged a triple-double 3 straight years, former MVP. Darvin Ham might say, you know what? Out of respect, we're going to try to work it out and not bench him. But
know what, Pete? And this is where I'm gonna push back on that.
Mhm.
You can't have that type of philosophy and then come to the press table and say, "Hey, we're not worried about people's feelings,"
Right.
because it's either one or the other. Hey, we're respecting
and
you, and we want to throw you a bone, Russ, and we're respecting your feelings, and we're cognizant of your feelings and how you might feel a certain way about coming off the bench, and we're going to acquiesce to that. Or we're not about anybody's feelings. We're about winning. And guess what? You could be in your feelings on the bench. And we'll respect you while you're coming off the bench. Like you can't have it both ways. And yeah.
And that may be, but I mean, to be honest, from the outside looking in, if he comes off the bench, they still gonna suck. Like I don't, you know what I mean? Like as bad as he's playing, I don't see nobody on the bench that's better than him. Like I think this team is just poorly constructed. You have AD and LeBron, guys who command a double team. They kick it out. They're kicking out the people who can't shoot. That's it. They don't have shooters. In a league, in a 3-point happy league, you got guys that can't shoot threes. A team that can't shoot threes.
But my thought was, at least if you brought Westbrook off the bench, you have him with that second unit. Hey, you have him on a unit that doesn't have LeBron or AD on it, and you can allow him more space to be able to attack the hole and do it what he's accustomed to do. And because I think a lot of times when he gets messed up with this starting squad, especially when he's playing with LeBron and AD, it's like, oh, is it your turn, my turn? You know, he gets caught up in that, I feel, when he's playing with those two. Or trying to defer to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go ahead.
My belief is still sharp and still. If you can't ball with LeBron and AD, it's going to be hard for you to ball with Schroeder and whoever they got off that bench. So usually to me, when someone at that caliber or was at that caliber starts to go to the bench, it's almost time to go home. I don't see it getting better playing with lesser talent, him playing better. I don't see it. Is it possible? Sure. I get idealistically, okay, here's the ball, do what you do at OKC. OKC wasn't good. You know what I mean? So
I mean, OKC is better than this team, though. Like if you get him the OKC Russ with a second unit,
we'll see how the season plays out. Because all the Lakers have to do is break the first round. That's it. That's all OKC did. Let's not act like OKC went. But
you see this team I don't see this team making a play-in, let alone the first round.
Yeah, but you're missing the big picture. You're saying that you're bringing Russ in with the second unit as if he's dumbing down his talent. I mean, you know, and to me, it's an insult.
Right. You can't win with LeBron and AD. So you're going to win with lesser talent?
I mean,
and that's the funny thing. Why are we considering that second team as a lesser talent? I don't think he's good enough to play with the second team. He's not good. Like I would take Kendrick Nunn over. Hypothetically, you put every point guard in this league in any position, bad team, worst team, I don't care where you have them, and you put Russell Westbrook on those teams in which you think might be bad, might be awful, might be good, might be great, and say, I would replace a top 75 player, Russell Westbrook, right now, who hasn't changed his skill set. He's just lost some bounce. His skill set is still the same. What team would you replace that point guard with Russell Westbrook, a top 75 player who just lost a little bit of bounce? His game is still the same. And I cannot give you more than 3 teams in this league that I would do that with. Why are we overrating this man for who he is? It's not the second team, and it's not giving him space. I saw a next gen stat, which was almost disgusting. It stated that he's had 11 wide open shots, next gen stats. You know what wide open shots are? In the league with next gen stats is the closest defender to him was 6 feet. And he's 1 for 11. 6 feet. You know how hard it is to get an open shot in this league? They're giving him 6 feet. That's not my mistake. They're allowing him to do this. And then we're saying we want to open him up to the second team as if the second team should succumb to his awfulness and bow to them. I'll take anyone on that second team over him. He just doesn't fit, period. And my issue is that Russell Westbrook doesn't fit to me on the league unless you have some type of Siberian squad, which I'm trying to think of right now. You don't have that anymore, which was in OKC. I don't want him messing up a Giddey. I don't want to see him messing up a Bonchero. I don't want to see him messing up a Jalen Green. I don't know where you can put him at. Mm-hmm. Every point guard, give me Porter on Houston. I'll take Porter. I'll take Greg Anthony's son on Orlando. Anyone, I just don't see Halliburton anywhere. Indiana, there's no Siberia team. Utah, Clarkson, put him at the 1. There's no place I see that Russell Westbrook is better than that point guard or backup point guard on those teams. I don't find him as a good player. That's where I'm stuck at. And my whole thing is, if you don't have a place for him, the only solution that I have is home. But how do you send someone making $46 million home?
That's the tough decision.
And you're playing him, he's a detriment to the team. Playing him, he can hurt you.
Yeah. I think, honestly, at this point, I think the Lakers, for him and for the organization, I think they just need to agree, do a John Wall and Houston type of situation. Hey, we're going to look for a trade option for you or something to happen, but you know what? Stay home. You know?
My criticism is the KGs, the PGs, and all the players that the Bills. He's not how y'all have him. This is an all-time great. You guys couldn't get him out the door fast enough. Paul George supposed to be a package deal. Y'all go together to LA. Paul George, no way. I'll go to the Clippers. Durant couldn't run fast enough. Bradley Beal was thinking about going to another team. You just can't. You can't do it. You can't play with Bradley Beal, Paul George, and Kevin Durant, and the greatest scorer that this league has ever seen. And it's like I'm beating him up, but I'm not. It's just as obvious as stating facts. He just doesn't have the game that corresponds not to the Lakers. I think it's a bad fit to the Lakers for sure. I just think it's a bad fit in general in the league.
Yeah, unfortunately, history's not going to really favor him because they're going to see, okay, you played with KD. You played with James Harden. You played with Paul George. You played with Carmelo Anthony. You played with James Harden again.
Durant, Beal.
You play with Bradley Beal. You play with Anthony Davis. Westbrook's always had a pretty talented team. Like the worst you could say is maybe the Victor Oladipo years. And that's an all-star player. He always played with an all-star player. That's just actual facts. That's not even opinions at this point.
All right, I want to get off the LA and Westbrook train. Let's talk about another team that kind of was disappointing, especially coming out the gate. Let's take it to the East Coast. We in New York. Let's talk about Brooklyn, man. We got to talk about Brooklyn. What's going on in Brooklyn, fellas? Please talk to me.
In Brooklyn,
now. It's similar to the LA situation, but they just have more talent. Their surrounding parts is a little bit better. You know what the top 2 guys get you, but I just think they have more talent. I'm not that down on Brooklyn. I want to see them, just how the season goes. Joe Harris is working his way back and everything. I think they'll be okay.
What do you think about how they're utilizing Ben Simmons?
Oh, no, I think he's pretty much Westbrook.
Wow.
Like
Westbrook has fouled
I
out
know,
three times.
yeah, I no longer think Ben Simmons is good. And I thought that coming into the season, he's scared to shoot the basketball.
I mean, he's been shooting this year.
Okay, he can't make a basket. However you want to put it. Like, he's not good. He's not, he hinders you on offense. You're playing 4 and 5 at this point.
Whatever you think of Westbrook and whatever I think of Westbrook, add the fact that he's fouled out 3 times. So whatever I feel about Westbrook, add that to he's taller and he's fouled out 3 more times. So that gives you an idea how I feel about Ben Simmons. How bad Westbrook is, Ben Simmons is worse.
Do you think there is a possibility of a plan that could be put in place to make Ben Simmons work in Brooklyn?
No, because this Mo, I'm not even gonna let you go on that path. This ain't coaching. This is him. This ain't coaching. What if you're wide open? What coaching can I do? You got to be able to knock that down. You can't be scared. He's playing scared.
But they're not putting them like. And
are they putting what position are they putting him to make 6 fouls every game? Like, his defense isn't even good anymore. He's fouling out. So that's the one thing you could count on. Okay, offensively, his head is somewhere else. But he is a good versatile defender. No, he's not. Not this year. He's not a good defender. So he's hurting you on offense and defense. That's not coaching. That's something between the ears. I don't blame coaching. I don't want to get into the mental health thing. He's not, as a basketball player, he's not there right now. He's just not.
Now,
I don't know.
Do you give him benefit of the doubt because he's missed 2 years of basketball and he hasn't played in a while? Hey, just getting his legs back and stuff like that. Also,
no, because when he played, he sucked. He was in the playoffs. He wasn't good when he played.
Mo, you got a little reach here. Just help me out here, Mo. What is his skill set? Because they tell me vision. He's a very good
court
passer.
Vision, handle, rebounding, defending.
All these skills. I mean, he's a quadruple single or quintuple single.
I would say, like, hey, he's a more athletic Draymond, to be honest.
No, I thought so. 1 point he's not.
He's Draymond without the confidence
and less offense. And less offense.
That's not good. Because confidence is what really makes Draymond who he is. Okay. So, and no, he's not as good as defender as Draymond, not this year. You know what I mean? Like,
do you think a stronger coach could give him that confidence to realize that potential?
I do.
No.
I do. I think a better coach out of this league, like somewhere like in Greece or in because I think you need to make harsh decisions. And I think he should be cut, leave the league, get his mind straight, start new in Serbia, South America. It's another one. He needs to be out of the league. He's not good enough to be in this league. He needs to work on himself. He may need to step away from basketball. But I mean, for me, it's skill set, what I see on a nightly basis. I just see the Nets playing at times, 4 and 5. He's roaming. I mean, he's not engaged, not in the game, just it seems like in life, he's just there. And there's a game that's operating around him and everyone's playing and it seems overwhelmed. And that just seems like his mental space is not there, which means he needs to take a break from the game. I'm harsh when it comes to this game of basketball because it's only here for a few months. So I like to see it played at its best part, but I'm human also first. And I think people need to take care of their own personal demons, which, are operating, make it unable for them to actually do their profession. He's not being able to do his profession. So therefore he should leave and work on himself. I don't know if he's good or bad. I just know he's not doing anything except hacking.
Yeah, and I can't say it's coaching because KD and Kyrie look good out there. And we're not going to give Steve Nash credit for them looking good. So I'm not going to bash them bad.
This is the only reason why I would point to coaching a little bit, in the sense that I think whatever plan that the Brooklyn Nets had for Ben Simmons, I don't think they got in Kyrie and Kevin to buy into it. I think part of that plan was, hey, we'll let Ben Simmons bring up the ball and try to do the Draymond thing. But I don't think Kevin and Kyrie has bought into that, because what's happened is when they do allow him to bring up the ball, he gets to have court and they're already and they're
'Cause
not running a play, or you know what I mean? And I think Ben is
time,
looking.
the more you have the ball, the worse off we are. Like it's
Yeah,
no
but
positive.
but
We not,
my thing is like this, Pete. Like, hey, even with Draymond with Golden State, hey, they allow him to bring down the ball and initiate the offense, even if it's just, hey, I'm starting the passing rotation and whatnot. Like, there are certain plays with Brooklyn where you see Kyrie and Kevin say, "Nah, we're not doing that. Just give me
right?
the ball."
Because we don't need you. Your skill set is not needed on this team. I could get my own shot. If go to Golden State then, because I don't understand why we're babying him. Mental health issues aside, he's not playing good basketball. I don't think it's coaching. I think he's mentally gone. That's
And I think,
let somebody else figure it out.
yeah, and I think you guys answered my question before. I said the importance of Draymond Green and him possibly being his last year here. How do you pick that up? And it was answered. These first 4 games has been answered, and that is, I see Jordan Poole running the offense. You know what I mean? I see him taking 2 spots. I see him taking the jump shot ability of Clay. It's not as fluid as Clay, but he's okay. And the playmaking of Draymond Green, so it can be replaced. With Ben Simmons, Kyrie could bring up the ball. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Royce O'Neal brought up the other day, like, he's replaceable for what he does.
Sure.
I thought his biggest attribute would be able to defend 1 through 5. No, he hacks 1 through 5. So to me, he's pretty much useless. But again, I think that's more so not of a talent reasoning. I don't know his talent. I haven't seen him in 2 years. I'm not a fan, so I really couldn't tell you how he played since LSU, to be fair. He's expendable, and he makes so much money to say so. But you can replace him with anyone on that team, and if he was considered a big 3 once he got there. I don't get it. I really don't. Him and Westbrook are the same to me, just different heights, you know. So I don't know what coach could bring that out of either one of them. I think that their time is just done. You know what I mean? This league doesn't transcend to whatever skill set people think they had.
All right, let's stay in the East Coast. Another East Coast team that kind of disappointed. I think they started 0-3, if I'm not mistaken. Philadelphia 76ers. Your boy James Harden looks like he's cooking, but they're not winning. Embiid, many thought that maybe this would be his revenge tour to try to capture that elusive MVP award. Looks like he's off to a slow start, to be diplomatic about that. What's going on in Philly, guys?
I mean, James is James, but I don't know if that is going to translate to Philly being Philly. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if his ISO ball and being healthy and he's shooting with efficiency. I don't know if that's what they want. I think it should run through Embiid, but James is back, so I don't know. Is Embiid what we thought he was? I think he is. How can they not play together?
I'm wondering. First 8 days of this season, I'm wondering where that dog is in Embiid that I saw last year. Like last year, I saw a player that said, "You know what? When I step on this court in between these lines, I will not be denied. I'm going to dominate the game any which way you want it." And these first 8 days of the season, I haven't seen that Embiid yet. That says, "You know what? I refuse to be denied. I'm not going to settle for anything. I'm taking everything. I'm not going to leave anything on the plate." I haven't seen that Embiid yet this season. And I've seen a lot of flopping and a lot of falling. And I know a lot of that is supposed to be training on how to fall so he doesn't further injure himself and stuff like that. But I've seen him be settle for jump shots, settle for the 3-point shot, settle for starting his offense on the outside perimeter instead of posting up consistently. Do we think that Embiid has lost that dog in him? And will Philadelphia be able to contend if he doesn't have that?
Oh no, they definitely. I think he'll come around. They definitely need him to be that dog. But two points you brought up. First of all, I don't want my 7 foot, 280 pound guy learning how to fall. What? Like I get the thing, but he shouldn't be fall. He shouldn't get used to falling. He's 7 feet, 280 pounds, and I think they just need to work it out. I think I'm dependent on Embiid and Harden's talent and their basketball IQ to figure it out. I've always had this issue since Doc's been there. I just think Embiid needs to post up more. Your advantage is your height and your weight. When you're on the perimeter dancing, you're not taking advantage of that God-given, advantage. You're just not.
And this is where I'm going to push back on that. And I'm going to say, I'm not going to blame Doc for this now. Because part of it, and Doc put it out there. And I think that's what's kind of messed up my thoughts on how Embiid's playing thus far. Doc put it out there. Hey, after every foul shot, every time the other team shoots a foul shot, whether they make it or miss it, when we come back down on offense, post up. That's supposed to be their rule. Now, he did it for the first 5 plays in the season, like the first game. And then after that 5, we got the Embiid that we see now from the free throw or the 3-point line. Now, that's on him.
Okay.
We got the game plan. Hey, you ain't sticking to it because, hey, every time you're not scoring. Because I think, and we went over this, I think, last episode, in a sense. First time he got it, he had to pass out, and I think Tobias Harris got a 3-point shot. Second time he got a pass out, and it was stolen, taken away. Third time he actually shot and missed. Fourth time, passed it out. I think James Harden hit a 3. Fifth time, whatchamacallit, it's another turnover. After that, he doesn't try that.
Yeah.
It's like I'm still waiting for him to try it again.
Yeah. I mean, whatever
games,
they need to post Embiid more. Whether it's
Doc's off the hook. Doc is off the hook.
I wouldn't say he's off the hook, but for Philly to be a better team, Embiid needs to play in the paint more.
I mean, for Philly to be a better team, Doc Rivers needs to be off the team.
Knowing that, or that takes Doc enforcing that, I don't know.
Yeah, Doc needs to go. Doc's like 4 years past being on Philly.
Wow.
His shelf life. I mean, Doc should be doing broadcasting. But God bless Doc, because I don't want to take someone's job away, but I think it's just long tooth. I think you start hearing that voice on and on and on and on and on, you can tend to block it out. You know what I mean? If you're a coach and you tell him, I need you down low, and he's not doing it, you either sit him or you lost the voice of the team. It's one or the other. I mean, you might need a new voice. You know, he's probably heard enough of your pep talks and might need some coaching. I mean, because Embiid and James Harden should be Eastern Conference Finals, just them two. You know, so I mean, they have enough there to be contenders, and the fact that they are not so far, and it is early, then it might just be the messenger as opposed to the message. So, I mean, yeah, that's Philly, though.
I think at this point, honestly, at this stage in his career, we got to put some more onus on Embiid. Like, you know what it needs, because especially after the year you had last year, where you had the blueprint and you did it. What's different, bro?
I get to do what I do. Listen, if I don't have any repercussions and I don't feel like posting up, I'm not going to post up. Shoot jump shots. I'm going to do what I want to do. You know what I mean? If I'm this guy and I don't feel like, not even the coaching dude, listen, he weighs people off at times and takes people off the dribble from 3-point line. I'm like, this is a charge. Or it's a bad shot.
Mm-hmm.
It's horrible offense.
But I think, especially with that market and what they had to endure with Embiid and Ben Simmons, and then Embiid being able to kind of soldier them through that Ben Simmons fiasco and whatnot. Embiid had so much credit with the town and the organization that Doc can only coach him but so hard.
Well, then he's
Like,
enabled. Then he can't do anything. Then Doc, then if that's the case, then Doc is just there for the ride. Then you need a coach. You have two great players. One is at the tail end of his prime, but still in his prime, but the tail end of it. He's cut weight, he's back, he's engaged, and they're still losing because your 7-foot center decides that he wants to be Wabanyana.
I think Embiid, some of it might just be adjusting to Harden coming back to form. You know what I mean? I think some of it might be adjusting. I think they work out. I really do. I think they'll work out. But I said this from last year. Like Embiid has to be in the paint more.
So Harden, he's adjustment. You know, when Shaq was in Orlando, he adjusted to being down low. When Shaq went to LA, his adjustment was down low. When he went to Miami, he adjusted because he stayed down low.
Yeah.
When he went to Boston, the tail end of his career, you found him at the 3-point line? No, Shaq was down low, even when he was in Cleveland.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is different. He couldn't shoot. Let's be honest. I love Shaq, one of my favorite plays, but yeah, that was his only option.
Oh, yeah, no, but Embiid shouldn't shoot, though. He's taller than most people that's on it. He shouldn't shoot. I mean, it's a gift, but it's a curse. You're taller than everyone else. You should dominate down low. You want to show that you're versatile? Great, shoot one. And then for the rest of your next 16 shots, you punish them down low. You foul them out. One of Shaq's greatest attributes wasn't him making his shots down low. It was putting people in the penalty. He was fouling people. You needed 4 to 5 bodies for him.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know what I mean? People couldn't be on the court. You took away from their personnel. He's going to do what he wants to do. It's the new age. So be it. I mean, Giannis, you find himself outside maybe, I would say maybe 15% of the game. You see him taking some jump shots and he'll find his way to the paint. He'll find his way to drive into the paint. Certain people just know. Maybe he'll get that epiphany.
Or you'll start subscribing to my CO conspiracy theory that the NBA is trying to kill the big man.
Here we go.
Nah, the big man's killing
They're
himself.
trying to kill the big man. They're trying to kill the big man position. And, we ain't got no real centers no more. No real centers, no real power forwards anymore, man. Where are my diesels? You know, where's my dream? You know, come on, man.
Giannis and Joker have last 4 MVPs. Come on, Mo.
Yeah.
Put your 10 down. Take your 10 hat off your head.
Nah, man. They try to destroy the big man. And they got my man Giannis thinking about shooting threes 15% of the time. He should be in the paint 100% of the time.
Yeah, man, most of the time.
He can't stop you.
Most of the time he is. I mean, I don't like those high pick and rolls that they do with him rolling to. He's so big, he takes up so much space. I don't see how he gets a charge on most of those. But again, I'm picky. No.
Hey guys, hit us up on social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're also on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification button so you can find out the new shows coming out. Or email us directly at weneedafifth@gmail.com. Let us know, are there any teams this early in the season that's gotten that's disappointed you? Hit us up.